I spent $4,800 building a Shopify app with Claude AI. It's been live on the App Store for about 7 months now. And so far, it's earned around $450, but I haven't seen a dollar of it yet in profit. And last month, it actually grew 52%. If you're thinking about building one yourself, here's exactly what you could expect. Real quick, I'm Cecilio, I run WebExp. I'm a solo Shopify dev based out of Houston, Texas. About a year and a half ago, I had an idea for a Shopify app. It was a music player that would play across the whole store, with the ability to have a playlist, album art, lyrics, the whole thing. To get there, I had to build a piracy-proof API. I paid a dev $1,800 for V1, scrapped it, paid another $3,000 for V2, and then hit the wall nobody warned me about. Let's get into it. So here's where it all started. Around early 2025, I was running WebExp doing custom Shopify work for clients. Sometimes I'd take a dozen projects in a month just to cover business expenses and bills. I was pretty much undercharging myself because I was kind of scared the next opportunity would never come. And I knew that wasn't going to scale. Obviously, I couldn't hire help. I wasn't making enough per project to afford anybody decent. There's only so many projects that you can take on in a month before burning out. I needed leverage. Something I could build once that kept selling on its own passively. Pretty much like my Shopify themes. Make it once, keep getting paid. That's the model I knew I needed more of. Around that same time, Claude AI was getting recognized as a better AI for development and coding. Before Claude, I was pretty much Frankensteining themes together with whatever I could figure out. I was actually trying to use ChatGPT to help me with these type of tasks. But I quickly realized that ChatGPT was pretty bad at doing this. The chat couldn't handle all the code I needed to provide it. Once I discovered Claude, I felt unlimited. All I needed was a good idea, pretty much. Now, here's the thing. A lot of my clients had been asking me for music player features in their stores for years. And some of my themes actually already had basic ones. A single track, just play and pause button icon in the bottom corner. Clients would hand me their MP3 files and then I would just set it up for them. So I checked the App Store. The music players that existed only let you do one track, no playlists. The UI looked like it was stuck in the early 2000s. It just didn't look premium. So I noticed a real gap there. Plus, I already had clients asking for this feature. That became my first real swing with Claude, a music player app with playlist support. So I started building. March 2025, the first version wasn't even an app. It was actually just a Shopify section. I built it with Claude in about a couple of weeks. I listed it on my website for about $7 a month. It was an instant download and the sealed subscription handled the recurring billing. But there was two problems with selling code on a subscription. One, it's just code. What's stopping someone from buying it once and then sharing the files? Now 10 people have it for free and no one's going to buy my section anymore. Two, what's stopping the buyer from canceling day 2 and then just keeping the files? So I had Claude walk me through building a simple API. First one I'd ever built, pretty much a whitelist server that solved both problems at once. When someone bought it, they'd just paste their store URL in the order notes, and then I would manually add their store to the activated list. The section pinged my API on every page load. Not on the list, no JavaScript code, so no music. The section just sits there dead. And the clever part is if you cancel the subscription, I just remove your store URL from the list, and the player stops working automatically. Even though you technically still have the section code. So the API just didn't stop pirates. It also enforced the subscription. It took me a couple of failed tries with Claude before it actually worked. Y'all want to know how many people I sold the section to? Literally just one person. The same customer subscribed and started paying for a few months. But that was actually my validation. Someone paid me real money for code that I wrote. But here's the problem. With my manual activation system thing, getting from one customer to 100 would mean running ads, DMing stores on Instagram, and just hoping for organic reach. And none of that was going to scale fast enough for me. By August 2025, I started thinking I should just build this thing into an actual Shopify store instead of just a section. There's real Shopify store owners that are searching the App Store literally every day. That's pretty much unlimited free traffic 24/7. The billing is automatic and Shopify handles all of it. No more having to manually add stores to a list and manage it. All I had to do was make the setup dead simple and then just put out content about it. Take the risk and build it as a real app. But here's the thing, I never really built a real Shopify app before. The backend, authorizations, the charge API, I never touched any of it or knew anything about it. And I actually did try to make the app myself first with the help of Claude, but every time I'd try, I'd get super confused and stuck. I'd get pretty deep far into it, and then eventually I'd get lost and not know where to go from there. So I quickly realized that instead of trying to build everything myself, which probably would have taken me like a year or two to learn everything properly, I could just pay someone with experience and stay focused on what I'm actually good at: the features, the ideas, and the UI. So I went looking for someone. And there was this guy I had met on Shopify forums a while back. He was based in India. And I'd hired him before for theme stuff that I couldn't figure out. So I already had trust in him. So I pretty much emailed him, "Hey, do you have any Shopify app development experience?" And he said yes. I pretty much let him know that I already had the project front end UI already done as a section. I just needed it wrapped into a real app. He quoted me $1,800 and that fit my budget, so it was a done deal. I was willing to do it. It was about 6 weeks of building plus App Store approval. In late September 2025, we finally went live. And here's the part I didn't expect: I had a paying customer locked in before launch day. So I was sitting at my desk, I refreshed the App Store search, WaveXP live on the App Store. And I was just sit there for a second looking at it. And here's the wild part: I had a client lined up before we even went live, Slo Moe Sodas. But here's how it actually went down. Their old site had a music player. It was actually one of those basic single track ones from another app. I noticed it during the redesign and asked them, "Hey, do you want this feature in your new website?" And they had said yes. So I had included it in the proposal and we'd installed a WaveExp music player instead. That's how I literally got my first subscriber on day one. Day 2 and 3, I got about 2 more from sharing it on my IG story, plus other clients I was already working with. By the end of the first week, I already had 3 subs. And I thought to myself, okay, this is it and it's actually going to work out. November 2025, 2 months into being live, and I almost made my most expensive mistake this whole story. I'm sitting at my desk and I open the app in my own store. I scroll around and tap around and I look at it for a long minute and I close my laptop. Right now I'm at free and pro, but what if I had a third tier, studio, built specifically for artists? Picture this: an artist Shopify store and customers are already on a site with intent to buy merch. Now they can navigate inside the music player like a hub. Discover the music, hit Spotify or Apple Music and add it straight to their library. Watch their music videos right inside of the player. See the call to action badges like new single and tracks they're promoting. And basically a Linktree but better. It's right where the buying happens. That's the studio plan, $20 a month, and the reason it exists at all. Now I needed a dev for the rebuild. The original V1 guy couldn't take on the project due to personal reasons, but connected me with someone that he had worked alongside. I met him on WhatsApp and I sent him a Google Doc with every detail and every feature with what's locked behind what tier. We worked through December and January. He quoted me $3,000 and we had worked out in payments. It was going to be 3 payments, one at start, halfway, and then one at done. While he was building, I was actually testing it in real time. Some bugs were pretty brutal, but autoplay was the worst. Every browser blocks it differently. Chrome one way, Safari another, and mobile's a whole separate mess. We burned a couple days trying to hack around it, but eventually I gave up. I just wrote a note in the app letting merchants know autoplay depends on the browser, and it was out of our control. Sometimes the right answer is just being honest about the limitations. Early February, V2 was done, so I submitted it to the App Store. It got rejected the first time. It was some listing copy issues, but I fixed it, resubmitted, and it got approved. So now I'm at $4,800 total, plus $50 a month for the Linode server. The new version is live, and then I hit a wall. Here's the part that nobody talks about: reviews. You can have the best app on an entire Shopify app store, but if you have 0 reviews, nobody's willing to install it. It's like a restaurant with no Yelp. People just don't bother trying. And if they do, it's very rare. For the first couple of months, installs were dead slow because of this. So I just reached out to some of my followers and made them a deal. I'll set up everything done for you. All of your track info, artwork, all perfectly to your satisfaction. And once we're done, would you mind leaving me a 5-star review? I got about 3 or 4 reviews doing it that way. Once I hit that, installs started picking up pretty fast. Now they're growing every week without me touching anything. Now the part that everyone really wants to see, the actual numbers. WaveExp went live late September 2025. Total earnings since then, $450.94. And I haven't pocketed a single dollar of it. So here's the math. The app makes about $90 to $100 a month currently, but the server costs $50 a month. That leaves me about $40 to $50 in profit. And every single dollar of that, plus extra from my own pockets, goes right back into the Shopify App Store ads. So the net to me is literally zero. I'm actually still in the negative. The app pays its own server costs, and that's pretty much it. I'm not banking anything yet. But watch this. It's the first week of May, and I open a partner dashboard like I do every morning, and I'm expecting the usual 4 to 5 installs for the week. I look at the chart. For the first 7 months, I was averaging maybe 5 new installs a month. Total. That's pretty much it. But the last 30 days, 32 new installs. 52% growth in literally 1 month. I went from 61 merchants to 95. So 2 things hit at the same time. The reviews finally caught up. The 0 reviews wall that I told you about, I finally broke through it. And I started running paid ads inside of the Shopify App Store. They started actually converting, and that's what flipped the curve. This is why I'm still putting my own money into ads. 100 paying subscribers is $700 a month. 200 is $1,400 a month. Once the math compounds far enough, I can stop adding my personal money into the app. And eventually, I'm going to start taking some home one day. So the leverage is finally kicking in slowly. It took 7 months to find a curve. So the 3 things I tell you if you're thinking about building a Shopify app is 1, sell the section version first. Even if you only get 1 customer like I did, the section is your MVP. 2, reviews are the moat. Solve the reviews problem before you build the next feature. Without reviews, you literally have nothing. 3, when you hire a developer, hire someone that you've already worked with on something smaller, or someone that just has a lot of reviews and testimonials. The trust compounds. The reason V1 happened at all is because I'd hired that one guy for the theme stuff before. Oh, and there's one thing I haven't mentioned yet. I'm currently in the process of being reviewed for the Built for Shopify badge. It's the official Shopify recognition that the app meets their quality standards. It's been about a week in review and no answer yet, but I pretty much expected that. But once I get that badge, I really expect this app to almost advertise itself. The badge is pretty much the biggest credibility signal that you can have on the App Store. Store owners see it and they automatically trust the app and are way more willing to install it versus other apps that don't have it. So I might not even have to spend that much money on ads anymore. But anyways, WaveExP is free on a Shopify App Store. Try it on your store and see if it fits. The link will be in the description if you want to try it out. And if you want to see how I'm building Shopify stuff with Claude every week, hit subscribe so you can see more videos like this. It really lets me know to keep making these type of videos. And if you want to learn how I use Cowork to make all of this possible, that tutorial is right inside of the description. $4,800 in and still 0 in my pocket. But the curve just turned. The mission is to actually take some home now. And in a couple months, I'll probably make another video down the road letting y'all know where I'm at with the app so y'all can see the progress. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for watching.